fallacy is committed, the fallacy of composition, when it suggested that everything in the universe is contingent, therefore the universe itself is contingent. Okay? So he says that this is a fallacy to go from there to there. Okay? How would we respond to that? The response to this is that it is not necessary to draw that conclusion from the part. Okay? So for example, you go from the part to the whole. It's not necessary for us to draw this conclusion of the contingency of the universe from going from a part to the whole, because we already intuitively know that the universe is either moving or still. And when you know that the universe is either moving or still, there's movement and stillness, we know that movement and stillness are contingents. Okay? That's one idea. Second of all, the universe is a composite. And when you have a composite, every part of that is dependent. Okay? Every part of that is dependent on it, meaning every composite is dependent on its composition. Every part is dependent on the whole. So therefore, it's got in its nature this dependency. Okay? Which is the very meaning of contingency. Number two. Number three, also the fact that the universe is observably expanding. And expansion is a characteristic of a contingent. Therefore, this also shows that the universe is contingent. Now look, let me add to this here. I'm going to come back to this dalil again, this proof again, and clarify it to you. But look, the fallacy of composition can apply to fallacious arguments. But when you have arguments that are correct, it doesn't apply to them. I'll give you an example of a fallacious argument. Let me give you an example of a fallacious argument. A fallacious argument is, this car is made of small bits of metal, therefore the car is small. Here you can apply the fallacy of composition. That this is an incorrect conclusion. But the fallacy of composition only applies onto this because the argument itself is wrong. Okay? But let me give you a correct argument. A correct argument logically would be, this car is made from metal, therefore the car is metal. We know that this conclusion that I'm drawing is actually a correct conclusion because the argument is correct, and the fallacy of composition couldn't apply on it. Because if the fallacy of composition applied on it, we would know observably that the car is metal. Okay? So therefore, if somebody says that the universe is composed of contingents, therefore the universe as a whole is contingent, this argument we say is correct. Therefore, it would be without the fallacy of composition. So what Bertrand Russell is arguing is that the fallacy of composition would exist on the idea that the universe is made of contingents, therefore the universe itself is contingent, would be incorrect. But what we say to Russell is that it's not necessary to draw that conclusion from the part alone, because intuitively we know that the universe is either moving or still. So when we know that the universe is either moving or still, and it can't be eternally moving, it can't be eternally still, and it can't be neither of the two, it's actually moving or still, we know that moving or still by their nature is contingent. So therefore, we can establish safely that if somebody was to say to us, you say that the universe is contingent because of X, Y, and Z, okay, therefore the universe is contingent, that's not necessarily the case because of the idea of the rope. Or a better example would be because of the idea of the argument that some students in the class are intelligent, or students in the class are intelligent, therefore the class is intelligent. Okay, this would be a qiyas ma'al fariq. Okay, some students in the class are intelligent, therefore the class is intelligent. The fallacy of composition can apply here. Okay, why it cannot apply in the universe is contingent, therefore the entire universe is contingent, is because we've established already that the universe in all its parts is muttasif bil haraka wa sukun. So when it's muttasif bil haraka was sukun, you don't have to go from a part to the whole. We don't have to go from part to whole. We don't have to go from the students are intelligent, therefore the class is intelligent. We don't have to go from a part to a whole, because we've already established that it's impossible for the universe to be wholly still, wholly moving, or neither of the two eternally, because of the fact that these are all rational impossibilities, and therefore the universe is either moving or still, and there's dawr of these. There's one follows the other. When one follows the other, therefore it means that every juz of the universe, every part of the universe has contingency attached to it. Therefore, the universe is contingent in itself. So the conclusion is that the fallacy of composition may apply on arguments that are incorrect, but arguments that are correct in of themselves, it doesn't apply. So this shows you that even from the basic argument that Musāyarah presents, the idea of the fallacy of composition can be very easily dealt with. Okay, and there's a lot more detail to this, of course, that we could go into, but I hope you would appreciate that I am really I'm really abbreviating in these sessions, just because there's so much I want to get through, but not enough time.